Imagine being born into the highest echelon of a cartel. You have access to unlimited financial resources. By your fourth day on Earth, local radio stations are playing songs written specifically about you. Yet you have no personal autonomy. You cannot choose your friends, you cannot travel freely, and you can never leave. You live in a Monterey hacienda equipped with private sports courts and exotic aviaries. You are surrounded by a massive security apparatus designed to keep you alive. But those same armed guards dictate every movement you make, creating a life of extreme privilege lived under permanent paranoid surveillance. This architecture of control exists far outside the criminal underworld. Consider a banana farm. If the owner pays his guards the market rate of 5 leaves a day, the guards sleep on the job and steal the fruit. But if the owner pays 10 leaves a day, the dynamic flips. This is the concept of efficiency wages, the strategy of paying workers significantly above the market rate to ensure absolute compliance. The extra pay is leverage. The guard realizes that losing this specific job means an immediate 50% pay cut. He stops sleeping, he stops stealing. The high salary weaponizes his fear of losing his lifestyle, converting a lucrative position into a psychological prison. Modern control is an invisible, highly optimized economic system. It uses privilege and basic needs to lock the door quietly, leaving you without a single moment of agency. This dynamic of dependency scales to the geopolitical level. Entire nations find their daily survival tethered to a single, uncontrollable external system. This chart shows the days of emergency oil reserves held by major economies. Japan holds 260 days of reserve. The United States has 200 days. These countries can survive a massive supply chain disruption for months. India, however, holds exactly a 25-day strategic petroleum reserve. With 25 days of buffer, any disruption thousands of miles away dictates the domestic economy. A conflict in the Middle East immediately impacts transport costs, doubles the price of vegetables at local markets, and drives rampant inflation. This vulnerability applies to natural gas as well. Many rely on hyper-concentrated suppliers like Qatar, which produces 20 millions of citizens become collateral damage, trapped in an overreactive global market dictating their quality of life from half a world away. On an individual level, this dynamic takes a physical form. Following the economic fallout of the global pandemic, millions of young, educated job seekers across Asia found themselves desperate for work. Criminal syndicates identified this desperation. They posted thousands of listings for IT and customer service roles, offering high salaries and relocation assistance to lure applicants across international borders. Upon arrival, the corporate job vanishes. Victims are driven into rural countryside complexes, often hidden behind the facades of repurposed casinos, surrounded by high walls and armed guards. They are locked inside and forced into cyberslavery. The scale of this shadow economy is massive. In the Mekong region alone, these syndicates generated an estimated $44 billion in stolen funds in a single year. These syndicates engineered a physical trap by weaponizing the human need for economic survival. They offered the exact solution their victims were praying for and locked the gates. Inside those guarded compounds, the trafficked workers are forced to execute pig butchering scams. Pig butchering is a structured fraud where scammers use AI translation and deepfake technology to build false romantic relationships with targets. The scammer spends months manufacturing a deep emotional connection. Once the target is fully invested, they are pressured into transferring their life savings into a mirror website designed to look like a legitimate cryptocurrency exchange, only for the money to vanish. The mechanism of manufacturing intimacy to extract wealth is legally deployed by major brands. AI studios now run massive social media profiles featuring entirely AI-generated lifestyle influencers. Digital avatars post perfectly lit selfies, share fabricated personal struggles, and build deep parasocial relationships with millions of followers. They project impossible physical standards because their bodies are constructed pixel by pixel. Algorithms prioritize content that keeps users engaged, and engagement is frequently driven by comparison. These flawless digital personas trigger insecurities in young users, driving them toward promoted fitness supplements and affiliate fashion brands. Whether operated by a syndicate or a corporate marketing board, the digital feed is a trap designed to convert emotional vulnerability into financial gain. The cartel accountant laundering cash through shell companies and the AI studio farming engagement share the same goal. Both are systems built for the calculated exploitation of human vulnerability. The output of these operations is immense. Millions of dollars stack up in warehouses and offshore accounts. The goal is the consolidation of wealth, entirely divorced from regulatory oversight or moral consequence. The bill for this wealth extraction is paid by the trapped. Nations are crippled by imported inflation, trafficked workers stripped of their freedom. Consumers sacrifice their bank accounts and mental health chasing fabricated standards. We believe we navigate the world as free actors. In reality, our daily economic decisions, what we buy, where we work, and how we survive, are largely predetermined by the invisible parameters of these systems. Personal agency begins when you finally recognize the parameters of the cage you are standing in.